Hey there, getting some new chicks today, and I want to tell you a little bit about some of our new strategies here on the farm. So, I just got the call. You know the call, the one from the post office, so let's go pick them up. I always just get so excited bringing life back on the farm. So we'll get them home, get them set up, get them nice and happy. I'm trying to get a little bit more comfortable taking my camera out with me when I'm going places sometimes. I think it would be cooler for you guys. But anyways, I'm in the car heading over to the post office and gonna pick up the chicks. Super excited. Always fun to bring more life back on the farm. You were probably wondering why I am buying chicks in late July. Well, I'm gonna answer that question. What kind of chicks we got, I'll tell you where I got it from, all that stuff, and sort of the strategies that we're gonna be changing on the farm moving forwards in terms of animals, products, and sales outlets. So a lot of stuff changing. Oh, here they are.
Here are your chickens.
All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right. All right, just got them in the car. Hey guys. Oh, they look good. Let's get them home. All right, got these little guys home. So what I ordered 25 Isa Brown pullets, so all females. I got them from Town Line Hatchery, and I've ordered from them before, and they're awesome. I've talked a little bit about hybrid laying birds. Isa Browns lay about 60% of all the brown eggs in the world. They're actually bred for really high production eggs, and also they don't eat a lot. So they're just, for big production facilities, they're like the ideal brown egg laying bird. But they do great on pasture and free ranging, and they're super healthy and hardy birds. There's actually, I believe Town Line is the only hatchery in the US that sells them, and they get their breeding stock from a genetics company. And they don't even release what the crosses are. So they're just a super specialized bird. No different kind of care or anything like that, but all right, so we're gonna get them in the brooder, and I'll show you a little bit about the brooder and how to get started with this kind of stuff. So in case you're curious, this is my tool shed, which I have a divider up here, and I use this as a brooder. It's kind of a weird setup, but I think I've mentioned before that this used to be my chicken coop. So you can see there the guillotine door. And this actually works great for me because I can brood chickens in here, and then after 3 weeks, I can just open the door and then let them out in the run. I keep them in here until about 6 weeks till I have to move them somewhere else. And this area here, I'm comfortable with about 25 birds or so, which is usually what I order. Here's the setup. This is kind of a cool thing. We got our water here, and underneath that we have a little frame with some 1/4-inch hardware cloth and a feed pan under there. And this is great because the chickens have to climb up onto here before they get a drink. So it keeps some of the wood chips out of the water, and if there's any spilling, it usually gets collected and doesn't get the wood chips as wet. We got our feeder, a lot of different kinds of feeders. This one works great for a lot of chicks at the same time. And then I got the red heat lamp. I've never brooded chickens at this time of year, so we'll see how much I need to use there. I probably have to lift it up a little bit, but you know, you just want to make sure that they have enough room to get away from the heat if they need to. So if it was too hot in that area, they can always run over to this side. But you just have to observe. If you see them all huddled under the lamp, that means that they are too cold. You gotta lower the lamp. If they're nowhere near the lamp, then you can lift it up, that sort of thing. So let's get them in here. I always put the box in the brooder. That way I can't lose any. So the first thing I always do is I always dip their beaks in the water so they know where water is. Now, chicks can be alive for 3 days without food and water after they hatch. That's just the way it is, and that's why it's always safe for them to ship them. The other thing is I count as I do this, but oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So just dip their beak in the water and then let them out. I'll probably put them under the heat lamp here, or near the heat lamp, so that they can get warm if they want to. I always forget how little they are. They're so cute. Woo! All right, so it's been a couple minutes. Usually the first thing they do is try to warm up. I know it's summertime and it's warm, but they need to be about 95 degrees or so. So they'll probably hang under the heat lamp for a few minutes before they start benching around. But I've already seen a couple eating, and just really healthy and look great. I ordered 25, I got 26, and nobody's dead, so just awesome. The last time I ordered from Town Lana, I got 27 and everyone was alive too, and I still have all 27, so yeah, highly recommend those guys. I'm not sponsored by them and they didn't give me anything for free, but they've just been great. Their customer service is awesome, they ship quickly, and their birds are super healthy, so yeah, so keep checking on these guys. Alright, in case you're curious, you want to see what's actually in my tool shed, I did another video about that, but I just showed you the tools. It's rather tight in here when I'm using the brooder as a space, otherwise it's storage, so I got some amendments and seeds here. Got a bunch of feed, tools, seeders, and then as I said, I put this divider in here, just a makeshift door. This was all with extra just stuff I had laying around, and I have a window on each side so I can get a cross breeze in here. But this is a pretty simple setup. As I said, it is tight in here. I wish I had a bigger space, but don't we all? So this is what they look. Larry is so loud today. All right, so this is what they look like. This is an Isa Brown. She was hatched in early February. It's now late July. She's already been laying for about a month or so. They're just awesome breeds. If you don't want to order them from Town Line, sometimes you get Isa Browns that they actually ship to other places like Tractor Supply and stuff, I believe. They're really light-bodied birds. They don't eat a lot. I did a video called Can You Make Money Selling Eggs? So I'll link that up there. You should check that out and why I decided to go with these ladies. But they're just solid birds, have good temperaments, and they lay just non-stop. They're just awesome. So I just want to show you sort of what they turn into. Pretty standard brown chicken, but yeah, just nice birds. So let's talk about why I'm buying chickens in July. I've decided to change my strategy a little bit. I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing. In one of my videos recently, I talked about covering up some beds and sort of dialing back my growing space just a little bit, and that's part of this decision. But selling eggs has been profitable, and it's pretty easy to sell eggs in general. I'm already out delivering in the Raleigh-Durham area on Fridays, and so if some customers want to pick up just eggs, that's cool. And I've only limited egg sales to people that were getting greens boxes in the past, but I'm trying to increase my production a little bit, and so that way I can sell more eggs. Now, how does this work? Well, I'm going to be launching a website. Actually, by the time this video's out, the website should be up and people can actually order online. I'm going to start with just offering eggs and microgreens. And so if you're in the Raleigh-Durham area, and Raleigh I mean by like north of 40 and most of Durham, and you're interested, go online and check that out. I can deliver any minimum order. There's a small delivery fee, but I'm going to try out this system. I know that the greens boxes have been great with my families that are into it and love it, but there's a lot of people out there that, you know, want to just click a button and order something, and they want to control what they order or when they want it. And I totally understand that. It's just the world we're living in, and you know, everyone's wants and desires and patterns and how they live their life is differently. So yeah, we're going to try that out. We're not going to stop delivering to our restaurants and to our greens boxes, but the reality is I can scale up the egg production a little bit, and microgreens I can scale up, you know, pretty much whenever I want to. So I currently have 47 laying hens, and they're a mixture of red sex links and Isa Browns. The sex links are about a little over a year now, so we'll probably be running a couple batches through the brooder and then eventually replacing those ladies. We're just going to sell them and then replace them with younger ones that are laying. So I have the Justin Road style chickshaw, which I've shown plenty of times, and it's already pushing it with the number of chickens I have in there. So I am going to be building a larger coop. I haven't quite dialed down the design yet, but I have about 5 or 6 weeks to figure it out until those ladies need to get out of there. So I'm going to try to do a coop that has a capacity of about 100 chickens or so. It's going to be mobile, you know, screen on the bottom so the poop falls through. I might try to do some rollaway nest boxes. Just try to increase my capacity and not really increase my workload so much. And eggs have been great. They're just very reliable, and they don't go out of style, right? Because people always will be eating eggs. And I think there's a big, strong market for pasture-raised eggs, and the fact that we feed them local non-GMO feed is also great, not just in terms of their health and everything else, but in terms of marketing. So those are some of the things that are leading me to this decision. Also, by adding chicks, you know, I'm not going to get eggs out of those chicks till probably November or so. So, you know, you got to keep that in mind. You got to plan ahead, and you got to plan for growth. But the nice thing that I noticed about the batch that just came into lay about a month ago is that, you know, sort of you can ramp up your sales when you know you're expecting a ramping up of your product. So like I know they're gonna start laying, so I gotta start thinking about how to sell them beforehand. And just as you sort of need that, they start to come into lay. So we'll see if I buy any more, maybe adult hens, just to fill in the gap a little bit until those are ready. So I'll probably be brooding a few rounds of chickens if I need to. I have a decent setup, but I do have to get that bigger coop set up. So I don't know if I'm gonna be able to move it by hand at that size. I might have to use my my riding mower or something to pull it. I'm not sure yet. I have to work out the design. All right, so you got your cuteness fix for the day for sure with the chicks, but you know, I do share a lot of how-to stuff on this channel, but I also like to talk about some of the business aspects, things I struggle with, decisions I make, just so some of you guys can sort of see my thought process. But hopefully this will be cool. I really do enjoy working with the chickens, and I don't know. I mean, I love gardening too, but I do love working with the animals, and the eggs are just unbelievable. So hopefully this will get my product into more people's hands and will open up some more doors for me. And I can play with the numbers pretty easily with the chickens. As I said, you can buy and sell chickens pretty easily on places like Craigslist. So, you know, if I need to reduce or increase that sort of thing, it's not gonna be so bad. Anyways, yeah, so if you are in the Raleigh-Durham area and you're interested in getting some of our products, please just go to my website, satinhillfarm.com. There should be a small online store in there. As I said, I am launching with just eggs and microgreens, and if there is extra field crops, I will be putting those up too, and it'll be a week-by-week basis. If you're not sure if you're in the right area, please send me a message on the Contact Us page on the website, and I can verify that you're in the delivery area or not. We're going to be delivering only to, it's just me on the farm, so just to Raleigh and Durham, and by Raleigh I mean north of 40, and not everywhere in Durham County, but just central Durham will definitely be cool. And I know there's a lot of people that have asked me about eggs and some other stuff, and you know, didn't want to commit to a full box every week, and so I'm making this available for people and trying to think outside the box a little bit. I know that times are changing, and you know, with the way consumers are buying food, and I'd rather have my produce and my eggs and stuff available to more people. So hopefully you found this interesting. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, share with your friends, all that stuff. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.